And that includes people at research institutes who are making the discoveries that keep us safe and healthy. Science and research is our door to a brighter future, and that has never been clearer. But because of the pandemic, many labs have closed or are at risk of imminently closing. So understandably, people are worried about their jobs and their future. So today, we are announcing $450 million to help researchers and research institutions bridge to better times. For universities and affiliated research institutes that have been affected by this pandemic, we will provide temporary support on wages. By delivering this money through federal granting agencies, we will get help out as quickly as possible to the people who need it. Aujourd'hui, j'annonce qu'on va investir 450 millions de dollars pour aider les chercheurs et les établissements de recherche à traverser la crise. Ces fonds serviront à maintenir les salaires de ceux qui font de la recherche pour qu'ils puissent continuer leur travail essentiel. On est chanceux. Les chercheurs canadiens sont parmi les meilleurs au monde. Tous les jours, ils font des découvertes qui nous aident à rester en santé et en sécurité, et donc on doit les appuyer. Far too many Canadians have lost their jobs because of COVID-19. As our economy gradually reopens, wherever we can do so safely, we need you back. We need you in your job, on your team, bringing life into our communities and our economy. That's exactly why we brought in the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy back in March. Because wherever possible, we wanted to keep you connected to the job you love and to the workplace where you contribute every day. When we launched this program, I talked about the neighborhood spots it would support, the local restaurant, the salon, the gym that had been forced to close or seen business dry up. Well, today, a lot of those places are looking towards reopening, and they need to be able to bring back workers and even hire more as this happens. So this morning, I can confirm that we will extend the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy by another 3 months to the end of August. Business owners, please take confidence from this announcement. You now have some runway to catch your breath as you get restarted. So please, bring back your employees. Going forward, we need to make sure that this program keeps working for people, that it keeps encouraging employers to rehire staff and even expand where possible. So over the next month, we'll work with business and labor stakeholders on any adjustments that might be needed. One of the things we'll be looking at is the 30% revenue decline threshold for eligibility. As businesses start up, needing a decline shouldn't be a barrier to growth. I know we'll figure out solutions where needed while continuing to support employers and employees, because that's who this is all about. If you're a business owner, if you're a worker, we're here for you, now and throughout the summer. At the same time, we've also broadened eligibility for this benefit. Minister Morneau will have more details shortly, but these changes will get even more people back on the job. So to business owners who haven't applied yet, go online and do so. The help is there for you. Aujourd'hui, je peux confirmer qu'on va prolonger la subvention salariale de 3 mois jusqu'à la fin du mois d'août. Si vous êtes propriétaire d'une entreprise et que vous vous préparez à rouvrir vos portes, cette subvention sera là pour vous et pour vos employés. On doit s'assurer que ce programme continue d'aider les gens, qu'il encourage les employeurs à réembaucher leurs employés et à élargir leurs activités autant que possible. Alors, au cours du prochain mois, on va travailler avec les représentants des entreprises et des travailleurs pour effectuer les ajustements nécessaires. On va notamment se pencher sur le seuil d'admissibilité d'une perte de 30%. Quand les entreprises sont prêtes à reprendre et même à grandir, ce seuil ne devrait pas être une barrière à la croissance. On va également élargir la portée de la subvention pour aider encore plus de gens à retourner au travail. Et le ministre Morneau donnera plus de détails plus tard aujourd'hui. Depuis le mois de mars, On prévoit plus de soutien pour les parents et les travailleurs, pour les étudiants et les aînés, pour les industries les plus durement touchées et les petites entreprises. On vient en aide à ceux qui en ont besoin. Et aujourd'hui, on donne suite à nos engagements. Today kicks off this year's hiring period for Canada's summer jobs. The first set of job postings are up on the Job Bank website, and thousands more will be posted over the coming weeks. If you're a student or recent grad, go to jobbank.gc.ca, that's jobbank.gc.ca, or download the Job Bank app to check it out. And tell your friends about it too. If they don't already know, there are lots of opportunities available. These placements mean a paycheck and valuable experience in jobs that are key to our fight against COVID-19. Of course, no one program can single-handedly solve the fact that there are fewer jobs out there because of the pandemic. So, for students and recent grads who still need help, starting today, you can apply for the Canada Emergency Student Benefit. Go to canada.ca to sign up. For parents who receive the Canada Child Benefit and people who get the GST-HST credit, we also have more news to share today. Although everyone should do their best to file their taxes in time for the new June 1st deadline, your benefits won't automatically be cut off if for some reason you miss that date. Your CCB and GST-HST benefits will continue until the end of September. But be sure, in order to keep getting them, you need to file your taxes as soon as you can, so there's enough time for the paperwork to be processed, and you'll be able to continue receiving those benefits beyond September. Si vous êtes étudiant, assurez-vous de consulter le site web d'Employabilité Canada, où on va afficher un premier lot d'emplois aujourd'hui. Et si vous n'arrivez pas à trouver une job d'été, la prestation d'urgence pour les étudiants sera là pour vous. Vous pouvez présenter une demande dès aujourd'hui. Tout le monde devrait essayer autant que possible de produire leur déclaration de revenus d'ici le 1er juin. Mais si vous n'êtes pas en mesure de le faire à temps, vos prestations, comme l'allocation canadienne pour enfants ou le crédit pour la TPS-TVH, ne seront pas interrompues tout d'un coup. Vous allez les recevoir jusqu'au mois de septembre. Mais on vous demande quand même de faire votre déclaration de revenus le plus rapidement possible pour qu'on ait le temps de traiter votre dossier et que vous pourriez continuer à recevoir ces bénéfices passé septembre. Les gens traversent des moments difficiles en ce moment, mais en travaillant ensemble et en restant là les uns pour les autres, on va s'en sortir. Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Premier ministre. On va commencer la période de questions aujourd'hui par le téléphone. Opérateur, première question.
Thank you. Merci. Première question, Hélène Buzetti, Le Devoir. À vous.
Oui, bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau. Excusez-moi, j'étais sur silencieux. On a un peu l'impression que plus la reprise commence, plus vous avez une préférence pour la subvention salariale plutôt que la PCU. Est-ce que c'est une perception exacte? Et donc, dans ce contexte, doit-on s'attendre à ce que vous prolongiez également la PCU ou pas?
Ce qu'on sait, c'est que la meilleure chose, c'est que les gens restent liés à leur travail pour pouvoir reprendre dès que l'économie commence à rouvrir. Garder ce lien entre employeurs et employés, c'est mieux. La subvention salariale donne aussi plus d'argent dans bien des cas, que la prestation canadienne d'urgence. C'est de l'aide qu'on donne pour permettre à la reprise économique et donc c'est sûr que ça va faire une partie intégrante de la reprise. On est dans une situation où des millions de Canadiens ont perdu leurs emplois, ont plus de chèque de paye, où il n'y a pas de possibilité d'avoir une subvention salariale parce qu'il n'y a plus d'employeurs pour eux. Et donc, on continue d'avoir besoin de la PCU, mais idéalement, effectivement, les gens utiliseraient plus la subvention salariale. Des employeurs vont réembaucher et même embaucher de nouvelles personnes avec la subvention aux travailleurs pour pouvoir assurer une relance rapide et efficace.
En suivi, Hélène?
Alors, oui, alors dois-je comprendre, vous avez comme l'air de dire que la PCU, son prolongement n'est pas vraiment dans les cartes. Est-ce que c'est le cas?
Non, on est en train de voir qu'encore des millions de Canadiens ont besoin de la PCU, mais évidemment, avec la reprise économique, avec de moins en moins de personnes qui vont être en situation de perte d'emploi et qui vont commencer à être réembauchés, on va pouvoir avoir des gens sur la subvention salariale et moins sur la prestation canadienne d'urgence, mais nous allons regarder attentivement la situation et nous allons nous assurer qu'on sera là pour les gens qui en ont besoin.
Merci. Opérateur, prochaine question.
Thank you. Merci. Prochaine question, Mélanie Marquis, La Presse. À vous.
Oui. Pardon. Bonjour, M. Trudeau. Concernant les fraudes, justement, à la PCU et ces directives de les ignorer, qu'allez-vous faire pour régler ce problème-là?
On avait un choix très, très clair à faire au début de cette pandémie. Ou bien on envoyait l'argent aux gens le plus rapidement possible et on mettait en mesure des mesures pour déceler la fraude et reprendre l'argent par la suite. Ou bien on mettait en place un système qui allait faire des vérifications plus profondes de chaque dossier avant de commencer à envoyer l'argent aux gens. Or, on sait qu'on est dans une situation où les gens avaient besoin d'argent immédiatement. Alors, le choix qu'on a fait, le seul choix à faire, ça a été d'envoyer rapidement l'argent à tout le monde qui faisait une demande et qui signait l'attestation. Et par la suite, comme on est en train de faire, mettre en place des mécanismes pour reprendre l'argent des fraudeurs et assurer des conséquences. Okay. We had a very straightforward choice that we had to make from the very beginning. Do we get the money out as quickly as possible to everyone who needed it, and then bring in measures that go back and create consequences and get the money back from people who took it without needing it? Or do we put in place a process that verifies carefully every application so that only those who needed it get it, and nobody had to, fraudsters wouldn't be able to get it? Well, the problem with the second approach would have been, it would have been months before delivering to the well over 7 million Canadians who needed it, the Canada Emergency Response Benefit. In this situation, in this crisis, we made the deliberate choice to get the money out the door to millions of Canadians who needed it and bring in measures to go after retroactively people who might have tried to defraud the system. The response, in order to keep Canadians safe and healthy, needed to be to get them the money quickly, and that's exactly what we did. But we will ensure that fraudsters or people who got the benefits unfairly or inappropriately will have to pay them back.
En suivi, Mélanie?
Oui, j'en déduis, corrigez-moi si je me trompe, M. Trudeau, mais j'en déduis que les choses restent telles qu'elles sont. Mais sinon, ma question suivie, c'est sur le retour du Parlement. M. Scheer est revenu à la charge ce matin en réclamant un retour d'un nombre restreint de députés. La dernière fois, vous ne vouliez pas. Est-ce que votre position a changé à ce sujet?
On a présentement un Parlement qui est présent une fois par semaine en réalité avec un nombre restreint de députés qui ne viennent que des endroits restreints autour du pays. Et 2 jours par semaine où on a des séances virtuelles où des députés de tous les coins du pays peuvent intervenir, peuvent représenter leur communauté. C'est un équilibre qui fonctionne extrêmement bien parce que ça permet à tous les députés d'exprimer les préoccupations de leur région, de leur communauté, et pas juste ceux qui sont à proximité d'Ottawa. tout en assurant qu'on a des séances en personne de façon contrôlée et sécuritaire pour assurer que la Chambre continue à fonctionner. On a proposé que ça continue, mais nous allons travailler évidemment avec tous les partis d'opposition pour assurer que pendant cette crise, pas malgré cette crise, mais bien à cause de cette crise, on continue de défendre notre démocratie et nos institutions démocratiques. We have a system right now where Parliament sits once a week in person with a limited number of MPs who are highly concentrated around within driving distance from Ottawa, who get to actually be there in person. But 2 more virtual seances, virtual sessions every week where MPs from every corner of the country get to represent the concerns of their communities. That is something that has been extremely effective in making sure that we are hearing from the breadth and scope of concerns across this country and not just those folks who are within driving distance of Ottawa. We've proposed to continue that, and I know there will be discussions with the other parties on the best way to move forward, but we all agree we need to continue with a strong democracy and a functioning parliament in a way that ensures that concerns of Canadians from every part of this country get heard.
Thank you. Operator, next question.
Thank you. Merci. Next question, Mike Blanchfield, the Canadian Press. Line open.
Yeah, hello, Prime Minister. We know contact tracing is going to be key when it comes to reopening the economy. But right now, the provinces and even some municipalities are all doing this differently. When will we see a national plan for contact tracing, and what will it look like?
I was very pleased to have a great conversation with the premiers last night. It was our 9th virtual First Ministers meeting since the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis. And as always, we're working extraordinarily well. We all understand that moving forward with a massive scale-up of testing capacity right across the country and contact tracing that goes beyond our own regions and jurisdictions is going to be important, particularly as the economy starts to reopen and Canadians start to carefully travel across provincial borders and from one jurisdiction to the other. It is still important that people stay home as much as possible, even through the reopening, but there will be more travel because of a reopened economy, and we need to make sure that we do have coherence in our approach across the country on both testing and contact tracing, which is something we talked about a lot last night, and we will continue to work together on to make sure that Canadians are covered from coast to coast to coast as we control this pandemic. Okay. J'ai eu hier soir notre 9e rencontre avec les premiers ministres depuis le début de la COVID-19 et nous sommes tous d'accord qu'une croissance importante de la capacité de dépistage et les suivis sur les contacts sont essentiels dans la façon que nous allons nous en sortir et nous allons pouvoir prévenir une prochaine vague de la COVID-19. C'est pour ça que nous allons continuer de travailler ensemble pour s'assurer que avec la réouverture de l'économie qui commence, les Canadiens vont voyager un petit peu plus. Ils ne devraient pas voyager trop, mais un petit peu plus. Et nous devons avoir la capacité de gérer la COVID-19 dans ces nouvelles situations. Et nous allons travailler ensemble sur cela.
As a follow-up, Mike?
Yeah, well, what's the timeline for that plan with the Premier's Prime Minister? And also, when do you think Parliament should be expanding beyond one emergency sitting a week so it can deal with legislation other than COVID-19 matters?
First of all, we know that massive testing and effective contact tracing are going to be essential to go along with reopening of the economy. There are a number of places that are starting to look at reopening in different places, and they already know that we need to step up on our testing, on our contact tracing. The federal government is offering to work very closely with the provinces on expanding massively both our testing and our contact tracing, and we certainly hope that the provinces will work with us on that because everywhere across the country, as we reopen, we need to be hyper-vigilant to possible resurgences of COVID-19. On Parliament, I look forward to being able to deal with a broad range of subjects when the time comes. Right now, our focus is rightly almost entirely on COVID-19 and getting Canadians the support necessary to get through this first phase of the crisis, but also making sure that Canadians are properly supported through what will be a difficult and convoluted process of restarting an economy while staying safe from the further spread of COVID-19.
Thank you. Operator, last question on the phone.
Thank you. Merci. Next question, Levon Savant, Radio Canada International. Line open.
Yes, hello, Prime Minister. On May 13th, Amnesty International sent you an open letter urging you to review your current policy and practice with the view of rendering Canada fully compliant with its international legal obligations and guidance from the UNHCR updates to the treatment of refugees. What's your response to this open letter, which was signed by people like Lloyd Axworthy and Alan Rock?
Canada has a strong tradition of protecting the most vulnerable around the world, of welcoming people fleeing persecution. They have contributed significantly to Canada's betterment and growth over the years. We have strong values of protecting the most vulnerable and being a welcoming country, while at the same time ensuring the strength and the rigor of our immigration systems and processes. We will continue to defend our values. We will continue to stay true to the way Canadians are open and welcoming while expecting the rules to be followed, and that is something that we will always do.
As a follow-up?
Yes, and so where do you draw the line between protecting the health of Canadians and fulfilling your obligations under the Refugee Convention and allowing refugees to claim asylum in Canada?
My responsibility, first and foremost, as Prime Minister of Canada, is to look out for the well-being, the safety, security of Canadians, and that will always be my top priority. However, in a situation of a global pandemic right now, we know that what we do in Canada is not going to be enough to keep us safe going forward unless we are also part of the global solution, unless we are helping out countries and people around the world in dealing with the pandemic and dealing with this situation in their ways. We will always make sure we're getting that balance right, but first and foremost, my job is to look out for the well-being of Canadians.
Bonjour, M. Trudeau. Mathieu Goyer de Radio-Canada. Ça a été confirmé que des membres des Forces armées canadiennes ont contracté le coronavirus en servant dans les CHSLD au Québec. Est-ce que ça change la mission des Forces armées dans les CHSLD et qu'est-ce qui va être fait pour protéger leurs collègues militaires?
Les femmes et les hommes de nos Forces armées ont toujours été prêts à prendre des risques pour protéger les Canadiens. Ont toujours été là pour servir dans des moments difficiles, dans des situations épouvantables. Et ils le font encore une fois maintenant dans les CHSLD. Notre responsabilité en tant que gouvernement, en tant que société, c'est de s'assurer que nous faisons tout ce que nous pouvons pour minimiser les risques que les membres de nos forces armées entreprennent dans leur emploi, que ce soit outre-mer ou ici chez nous. Mais malheureusement, c'est une situation, comme on sait, où il y a des risques. Nous allons nous assurer qu'on continue et on renforce les mesures pour assurer que nos forces armées demeurent en sécurité autant que possible. Et bien sûr, nous allons nous assurer que la COVID-19 ne se répande pas à l'intérieur de nos forces armées. Nous allons prendre les actions nécessaires. The women and men of the Canadian Armed Forces have always stepped up to do difficult and dangerous things when called upon. Their service to Canada, whether it be overseas or here at home, has always been exemplary, and our responsibility as Canadians, as a government, is to ensure that we are giving them the proper support to minimize the risks that they undertake to serve Canada. There are always risks in what they do, and they go into that knowingly and willingly, and that is why we offer them our deepest gratitude every day. At the same time, we need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to protect them, so we will look at the protocols in place and see if and how they can be strengthened, as well as ensuring that cases of COVID-19 don't spread throughout the Canadian Armed Forces and others who are serving their country.
Et en suivi, Radio-Canada a publié l'histoire récemment d'une Canadienne enceinte qui a voulu entrer au Canada avec son mari américain qui a été refoulé à la frontière. Selon le décret de votre gouvernement, les citoyens canadiens ont le droit d'entrer au Canada si leur voyage n'est pas optionnel ou discrétionnaire, mais l'Agence des services frontaliers dit plutôt que le voyage doit être essentiel. Alors, comment vous réagissez au fait que l'Agence utilise un critère qui est plus restrictif que ce qui se trouve dans le décret?
On est dans une situation extrêmement difficile maintenant, avec des familles séparées, avec des gens qui font des deuils extrêmement difficiles en Nouvelle-Écosse et ailleurs pour des gens, des proches, des membres de la famille morts dans des CHSLD, sans pouvoir les voir, sans pouvoir les dire au revoir dans certains cas. Ça exige des sacrifices et des situations extrêmement difficiles pour tout le monde. Les agences frontalières, comme toutes les autorités, essayent d'appliquer les règles d'une façon consistante, mais on a une situation dans laquelle, malheureusement, c'est du jamais vu et on s'ajuste autant que possible.
Hi, Prime Minister. Tom Parry, CBC. On the CF members contracting COVID-19, there's a veterans group that's saying that Forces members should be given the same kind of, given the danger of this deployment, they should be given the same kind of benefits they would receive, say, overseas, danger pay, things like that. Is that something that your government would be open to?
I think that is something that the Canadian Armed Forces are certainly looking at.
Okay. Can I ask you then about the wage subsidy that you were talking about today? You haven't seen businesses rehiring people at the level that you wanted. So does that say to you that there's a problem with the program, or do you think that businesses are just worse off than you thought?
I think there is a reflection that this is an unprecedented situation, and there is a lot of uncertainty about what the coming months might bring. As businesses are trying to figure out when they might be able to reopen, or looking at numbers of cases and trying to imagine what that might mean for their business in the coming weeks, in the coming months, they are busy trying to juggle a whole bunch of different factors that they have very little window into. That is why it was so important for us to announce that we will be continuing with the wage subsidy over the next 3 months until the end of the summer, to give businesses the certainty to know that we'll be there for them. As the economy reopens, there's a danger of unintended consequences. I mentioned that, for example, if part of the eligibility criteria for getting the wage subsidy is a decrease of 30% of your business, we wouldn't want people who are getting back their business going to feel like they have to hold back on their growth, on their expansion, on their rehiring in order to be able to continue benefiting from the wage subsidy. So we're going to work with industry, work with labor, work with stakeholder groups to make sure we're getting it right. But that wage subsidy is going to be a really important part of the coming months of recovery. We will continue to be there for businesses, to give them the certainty to know that they can rehire their workers and get back to work in a very careful way as the economy reopens.
Hi, Prime Minister. Chris Logue with Global News. Canadians with underlying health conditions are concerned they may have to go back to work early and be putting their health at risk if the CERB isn't extended. Will there be any measures put in place that the most vulnerable to serious illness aren't put at risk?
Our focus throughout this entire pandemic has been the safety and security of Canadians. We know that some Canadians are more vulnerable to COVID-19 because of age, because of underlying health factors, and every step of the way we have focused on giving them the support we need, that they need, and we will continue to do so.
What are the specific measures on the table for those workers?
We're going to continue to look at the situations that, as they come up, as we support people who need it during this COVID-19 crisis. We've delivered the CERB to over 7 million Canadians. We've seen millions of workers get on the wage subsidy. There are measures in place for so many different groups because we know that being there for each other is part of who Canadians are, but also how we're going to get through this, and that's what we'll stay focused on. Nous savons que nous devons être là les uns pour les autres, particulièrement ceux qui sont les plus vulnérables à la COVID-19. C'est pourquoi on a mis en place des mesures de financement, des mesures d'appui pour des millions de Canadiens et que nous allons continuer de les aider pendant cette pandémie. Notre priorité première sera toujours la santé, la sécurité des Canadiens parce que sans la santé, la sécurité des Canadiens, il n'y a pas de reprise économique.
Hi, Prime Minister. Molly Thomas, CTV National News. For Canadians who have loved ones in the States, is family reunification considered essential? I mean, are they essential enough to cross that border at this point? I know that some CBSA officers are saying no to them and not letting them across. And could this be negotiated as part of ongoing border talks?
We know that Canadians are facing extremely difficult situations because of COVID-19, whether it be families who can't grieve the loss of a parent or a loved one because they cannot gather and they cannot hold funerals because of COVID-19. These are things that are extraordinarily difficult. Families are stretched across the country and unable to see each other. People are stuck overseas, and despite the hundreds of repatriation flights we've brought, there are others who simply can't come home. This is a difficult situation, but every step of the way, we need to do what is necessary right now to keep Canadians safe. That is our priority, to control the spread of COVID-19, to make sure that we get it under control in Canada and that we prevent importation from other countries. That continues to be the priority that Canada has, and I know it's difficult on Canadians, but we need to continue to be very, very careful, because if we make a wrong step in the coming weeks, everything we've sacrificed over the past 2 months could be for nothing if we see another massive surge of COVID-19. So we will continue to be extremely vigilant and extremely careful about how we move forward. Okay. Nous savons que c'est des situations extrêmement difficiles pour bien des familles à travers le pays qui sont séparées de leurs êtres chers dans d'autres pays ou à l'autre bout du pays, qui ne peuvent pas faire le deuil ou même pas voir leurs parents ou grands-parents qui sont en difficulté dans des CHSLD ou ailleurs, parce qu'on doit contrôler l'expansion de la COVID-19. Ça doit continuer d'être notre priorité, de faire tout ce qui est nécessaire pour contrôler la COVID au Canada et pour empêcher que d'autres cas arrivent d'ailleurs quand nous, on commence à réussir ce contrôle. C'est très difficile, mais nous devons de prendre comme priorité la protection de tous les Canadiens.
So just so I'm clear, Prime Minister, immediate family members in the U.S. should not go to the border?
We have established rules around traveling across borders and international travel. They need to be respected because we have to keep Canadians safe. We have to control the spread, and we will be doing that.
Prime Minister, my second question is about, talks are beginning between the unions and the federal government about getting back to work. Example, Service Canada, for example, to do that safely. Do we know when that's going to happen? And I know many Canadians are struggling to find support online.
I will highlight that the federal government did not shut down. Service Canada offerings are made online or via telephone, even though we closed the physical centres. The services that the government continues to offer to Canadians continue. We've seen that in exceptional measures like the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, or the wage subsidy, or the students' benefit, or the seniors' benefit, or the fishers' benefit, or the list of things that the public servants in this country have continued to work on and delivered for Canadians during this crisis is extraordinary, and we need to again and again recognize and thank the incredible public servants who deliver these measures while facing the same kinds of fears and challenges, whether it's concerns about COVID-19 or dealing with working at home with a young family around. Our public servants have been exemplary through this, and we will continue to work with them and with their unions to ensure that they are kept safe as we move forward.
Merci beaucoup. C'est ce qui met fin à la conférence de presse d'aujourd'hui.
Merci tout le monde.